Welcome to Roboquest, a fast FPS Roguelite in a scorched future world. You're a rebooted guardian ready to kick some metal butt, fight with your buddy or by yourself and annihilate hordes of deadly bots in this ever-changing environment. Roboquest contains 76 achievements ranging from completing levels, reaching stat milestones, as well as you betcha collectibles. Can we collect them all? We'll find out as we become the best robot in Roboquest. We first start by setting up our base camp. This will act as the lobby for the game where we can do things such as change difficulties, change playable characters, upgrade our runs, manage our gadgets, as well as check up on our collectible progress in the museum. Starting off with the achievement grind, we will be gathering our first collectible right at the start of our first run. By doing a little bit of parkour, it'll allow us to get to the first data log of the game, unlocking the bronze log collector achievement. Throughout the game, there are 51 data logs scattered throughout all the zones. We will need to find each and every one of them, along with other collectibles we'll be gathering along the way, which mostly consist of enemy cards that are randomly dropped, as well as weapon cards that are dropped for getting around 230 kills with every weapon. During my second run, while in the Oasis Zone, I unlocked the Bronze Damage Dealer achievement for dealing 10,000 damage to enemy robots. During that same exact run, we run into the boss Digimon at the end of the Oasis Zone. This boss is not too bad. Like most other bosses in the game, they have a couple specific attacks that once you kind of go through a couple runs, you get used to them, they become pretty easy to kill. As an example, after defeating Digimon and putting some quick and easy work onto him, we unlock our first enemy card, which is one of many. You need one for every enemy type in the game. After defeating Digimon, we move on to the second chapter of the game while also uncovering some of the story behind Roboquest. In some of the beginning scenes of the game, when the human character uncovers our first guardian, it is shown that they have not been updated in many hundred years. This is important as we discover that all the robots we've been fighting and will fight have been corrupted with a virus turning them evil. Our main goal is to defeat this evil and eventually make things right. By completing the first chapter and moving on to the next zone, we actually unlock the next achievement, Haven 8, for completing chapter 1. In that same run, after not realizing these corrupted locations on the map can contain hostile enemies, I meet my demise and fail the run. However, soon after this, in the next run, I decided to go to the ruins route instead of the Oasis for the first time. And after a short upgrade and adventure here in the ruins, we actually come across this fella down on his luck, Mr. Wall Street Slim. Giving him some spare power cells to this robot, and actually unlock us the achievement Spare Some Change for just sparing some power cells to Wall Street Jim. Almost immediately after giving some spare power cells to Wall Street Jim in the ruins, we actually unlock the Bronze Rogo Regulator achievement for taking down 500 enemies in our runs. At the end of our ruin zone, we actually come across the boss Billy Boom. By defeating Billy Boom and completing the ruins, we unlock our next achievement, Wrench Picker Bronze, for collecting 50 wrenches. In our same exact run, almost immediately after collecting the Bronze Wrench Picker achievement, we actually defeat this laser bot and unlock the Commando. I'm not sure why at this moment, but it's the next playable character. Throughout your runs collecting power cells, wrenches, and data logs, you also have the opportunity to buy gadgets and zones which will help further unlock achievements. After defeating the canyons in our first little safe zone, we can actually give this old fella one data log unlocking our first gadget, and as well as the achievement Gadget Inspector Bronze for unlocking one gadget. In the yellow zone in the Oasis, you can come across a hidden area behind a waterfall containing a spear sticking out of the ground as well as a guy asking for swim trunks. Picking up the spear on the ground will actually unlock the Ranger class as a playable character, as well as the swim class guy, which we can come back to at a later time. The field zone in one of our runs, we defeat one of the robots and collect 50 power cell. This will unlock the achievement Power Cell Gatherer Bronze, next achievement. To unlock another quick achievement Party Bus, you just have to press the jump button for the hover bus in the loading screen before the zone loads. This will make the little bus jump up and down, unlocking the achievement. During our run in the ruins, we also discover a new entrance to a side zone, unlocking the achievement Nests of Corruption. Without realizing it, in the canyons you can actually come across a bot that's red and blue that doesn't fire upon you. After not killing him and going up to him, you can actually press to interact with him, picking him up and use him as a weapon. This will come in handy at a later time for a secret area, but here. After collecting our little buddy bot as a weapon, we go into the safe zone and cheese another achievement, Mamma Mia, by performing 5 head bonks in a row without landing. This can be easily done on one of the healing bots as they count as it. Going into the Oasis beginner zone, behind the waterfall to the left, you can actually unlock a secret area if you have the little buddy bro bot as your main weapon. In here you can actually find the swim trunks that the guy in the Oasis is wanting in the yellow zone, as well as a little robot that will upgrade your certain weapons, such as the little bot, the starter pistol, the shovel. By doing so, we actually unlock 2 achievements, Legendary and Pimp My Buddy. In our next boss battle with Billy Boom at the end of Oasis, we actually decide the end to run early with an achievement, Oopsie. This can be triggered by killing Billy Boom and not flipping the lever on his back when he gets down to a low enough health. In one of our next runs against Digimon, once again, after some quick work taking him down, we actually unlock the Bronze Boss Punisher achievement for taking down 5 bosses. Continuing on with our run in the field zone, we actually unlock the Silver Damage Dealer after killing some of these bots for dealing 500,000 damage to bots. While playing as the Commando, in one of these horde zones in the energy center, we actually accidentally unlocked the special delivery achievement for taking down 3 different enemies in a single rocket. During your playthrough of Roboquest and your many runs, you'll collect many wrenches. As you might notice, there's a lot of different uses for wrenches throughout your playthroughs, whether that be upgrading your weapons, changing the secondary effects, buying perks. However, one of the main uses is for buying upgrades in the base camp, and after spending a certain amount of wrenches and unlocking class Engineer, we unlock the achievement Engineer for, like I said, unlocking the Engineer. After switching my difficulty to Discovery, which is the easiest difficulty to kind of further unlock some easier achievements and to kind of change the pace, we unlock Easy Peasy for taking down a boss without taking damage on Billy Boom. At the end of the energy center, we can actually come across our second boss fight. In this boss fight, we fight the Sir Catacoaster boss, and by defeating him, we unlock the Recon achievement for unlocking the Recon class. By moving on from the energy center to Haven City, we actually unlock our next achievement, taking it back for completing Chapter 2. Starting off in Haven City, you're tasked with fighting 4 different Goliaths, knocking out each Goliath one by one, will allow us to move on to the next zone, District 13. Like Haven City, in District 13, we're actually tasked with doing relatively simple things to unlock the next area. In order to get past District 13, we actually have to just go through 2 different rifts that are surrounded by enemies, complete them. Doing so will actually let us get to the final area of District 13 and do our 3rd and almost final boss. After defeating the tasks and 2 rifts in District 13 and getting to the end of the zone, we actually come across our almost final boss fight. Like the other boss fights in the game, there's a revolving number of bosses that we can fight, which will help to unlock the cards for the collection later on. But after defeating Uncle Jim, we actually unlock the achievement Moonwalker for completing Chapter 3. As we approach the final boss of the game, we spend a couple extra power cells on some upgrades, and we unlock the achievement Energy Wallet for spending at least 40 power cells in a single run. After putting some quick work into the Iris boss fight, we realized that there's actually 2 different phases to this fight, one taking place in that enclosed area at the end of the moon phase, as well as the open air area where we later fight Iris as the giant eyeball. Like many of the other bosses, Iris has different attack types, such as throwing different lasers at you, elemental rockets, and electrifying ground, and slashes. And it's important to get used to these and know these, especially when it comes to the later difficulties, such as Guardian 4, where it's kind of make or break. As we are killing Iris, we actually unlock 1 achievement, Damage Dealer Gold, for dealing 1 million damage. And then also taking down Iris as a boss, we also unlock Silver Boss Punisher for taking down 10 bosses. And then finally, once we've kind of gone through the little cinematic and defeating Iris, we unlock 3 for 1. We unlock Best Buddy Forever for finishing the game with the Buddy Bot, Reboot for finishing the game, as well as Last Bastion for finishing the game as the Guardian character. Now that we've finished the game, we'll be moving on to kind of just finishing up achievements and whatnot. So in the secret area of the quarry, we actually activate a lever, which unlocks what's that lever for, activating the lever in the excavation site. Shortly after flicking the lever, we also pick up the shovel, unlocking the Shovel Knight achievement. Keep it on the shovel note, using the shovel, we actually dig up a spot in the canyons to get our Explorer Slippers, unlocking Silver Inspector Gadget for unlocking 5 gadgets. Continuing on with the achievement hunt, we collect an extra data log, unlocking Silver Log Collector for retrieving 20 data logs. After a short fight fighting Dr. Turret, we bonk him on the head to finish him off and unlock the Gold Boss Punisher achievement for taking down 15 bosses. Continuing on with the run, later on in the field zone, we actually find a portal next to one of these corruption points. Going through the portal actually unlocks us the Warp Zone achievement for finding and traveling through a portal. By going through the portal, we actually discover one of the secret timed areas. There's about 2 secret time areas where there's a bomb at the end that you must defuse. And you gotta get to the end within the time limit. By getting to the bomb and actually waiting to the last 3 or 4 seconds, we can actually defuse it for another achievement just in time for defusing the bomb within the last second. And once we've defused the bomb, we can actually go up through the door and get our first crystal, unlocking the Bronze Crystal Claimer achievement. Later on in our run, in one of the ticket areas in Haven City, we buy some wrenches with some power cells, actually unlocking the Silver Wrench Picker achievement for collecting 150 wrenches. Continuing on with the collection sort of achievements, in the next run we actually defeat a robot and collect the Silver Robo Regulator for taking down 5,000 enemies in total. In Roboquest, there is 3 stat achievements, one for bonus ammo amount, one for armor amount, and one for speed. Here we unlock the ammo belt achievement for reaching a 75% bonus ammo run as a guardian. This is done just by picking the specific perks that increase ammo reserve. And next up after that, after kind of a couple attempts, we actually unlocked the perfect run achievement for completing the game with a rank S average on every map. Going through the side zone in the ruins, the same door, we actually unlock the Nest of Corruption achievement. We can go through that zone and then finally reach the final boss, which is actually a bunch of elite mobs that we must kill. Killing those actually results in us getting the Crystal Claimer Silver achievement for collecting 3 power crystals. Continuing on with our run, once again, kind of another collection achievement, we get Gold Robo Regulator for taking down 10,000 enemies in total. And almost immediately after, in our next run, we actually pick up a loose wrench on the ground, unlocking Gold Wrench Picker for collecting 500 wrenches in total. Going back to working on kind of some class-specific achievements, we actually play as the engineer and unlock the For the Swarm achievement for having 5 friends deployed at once as the engineer. This can be done combination of having the little buddy bot robots as well as your little drones flying around you. Continuing on with the engineer, we can actually finish the game playing as the engineer to unlock the Science Above All achievement. This is just done by finishing the game as an engineer, and each of the classes each have an achievement related to finishing the game with them. Continuing with class-specific achievements, we actually play a run as the Recon and finish the game, locking us the Fast and Furious achievement. In our next run, playing as the Ranger, we can actually throw one of our javelins at a bot that deals more than 1,000 damage, and that will give us the achievement Bot Skewer. Continuing on in that same run, towards the end, right before the Iris fight, we actually buy a couple items from the bazaar, and we unlock the achievement Bazaar Best Friend for having 15 items equipped at once during a run. And once again, continue with the class achievements. We actually finished that run we were just on as a Ranger and unlock the achievement The Long Hunt to complete the game as a Ranger. Continuing on with some easy achievements to accomplish, we get Sushi Master for taking down 3 different enemies with a single dagger hit. This can be done pretty easily towards the beginning of Canyon with all the one-hit mobs, especially once you've had quite a bit of upgrades. And almost immediately after getting the Sushi Master achievement, we let the bots knock us down to lose the game in Canyons to unlock It's Gonna Be a Long Journey. Sometimes you might notice one of the buyable perks in the safe zones is actually a Wonka bar, and by buying the Wonka bar and actually winning the gamble, you unlock the Master Gambler achievement. Next up, on the next boss fight, we can actually unlock a pretty easy achievement for taking down Digimon using only the Bonk Hammer to unlock Whack-A-Mole. Just barely being able to record this, we actually unlock Faster Than Light for reaching the maximum movement speed in one of the bonus zones. Next up, we unlock one of the collectible achievements again. For gathering 1,000 power cells, we unlock the Silver Power Cell Gatherer. After fighting one of the secret bosses in one of the hidden zones, Duke Nuker, after putting some quick and easy work for him, we actually find and claim our 6th power crystal to unlock the Gold Crystal Claimer achievement. One of the achievements that we'll get later on is actually for reaching level 15 by the end of the game. And unless you follow a specific route, you probably end up getting to level 14 and just almost 15 a couple times. In the same exact run, however, we finished the game as Commando to unlock the achievement Buyakasha for finishing the game as Commando. Kind of like some hidden zones, you might actually notice in order to unlock the last and final character, the Elementalist, you'll actually need to go through the Energy Center a couple times, take a note of a certain code to import that into the beginning of Energy Center. And by putting that code in, we can actually unlock the Elementalist and unlock the Elementalist achievement. By going all the way through the different zones playing as the Elementalist, we can actually unlock the class-specific achievement Final Flash for dealing more than 1,000 damage with a single comment. Once again, kind of class specific, keeping along with all the other classes. If we go ahead and finish the game as the Elementalist, we can actually unlock the achievement Elementary for finishing the game as a specific class. After finishing the game as Elementalist, we actually finish up upgrading all of our base camp to unlock Home Sweet Home. On our next run, after defeating Sir Catacoaster at the end of Energy Center, we actually unlock Gold Power Cell Gatherer for gathering 2,000 power cells. After deciding to do a lot of solo achievements, we actually move on to doing some co-op achievements. We start off with Power of the Friendship by finishing the game with a robot. One of the next co-op achievements is Field Mechanic for rebooting your robot. Pretty easy to do in the canyons, as all you have to do is just let yourself get down by the enemies and just pick each other back up. And once again, along with all the other achievements for finishing the game, whether it's classes or for difficulty, we unlock the Power of Friendship for finishing the game with a robot. This can be done with any difficulty. You can unlock another quick achievement just by switching the game language to French, unlocking Comfort du Croissant. After many failed attempts by following along a certain path as listed out in a guide, we can actually reach level 15 before the final Iris boss fight, unlocking Muscle 4000. Continuing to clear up some additional achievements by selecting certain perks and different upgrades throughout the run. We can unlock Iron Maiden for reaching the maximum armor bonus, which is about 60. I think one of my biggest mistakes was actually waiting for this gadget for last, but we show the Safari robot some weapons to unlock our Gold Inspector gadget for unlocking 11 gadgets. And by following along a quick guide, we can actually finish off the rest of the data logs to unlock the Gold Data Log Collector for collecting 51 of the data logs. Now, of course, the hardest achievement was not recorded, but after finishing the game on Guardian 4, we unlocked Guardian and Ultimate Guardian for finishing the game on Guardian 4 and finishing on Guardian 4 with a rank S average. Last but not least, we unlock Gotta Catch Them All for completing every collectible, item card, and enemy card in the game. Overall, Roboquest was a pretty enjoyable game. It was a lot of fun, and it's probably one of my favorite roguelites I've played so far. If I were to rank some of the different aspects of it, difficulty and time grind-wise, I'd say it was about a 4 out of 5. Took me about 35 hours to get all the achievements for Roboquest, with the last 10 or so hours just being Guardian 4 runs over and over. But finally unlocking it was pretty satisfying. Overall, like, none of the achievements were any hard to get at all. It's just kind of a time commitment. And I would say even some of the grinds with Guardian 4 was actually one of the most enjoyable games I've played, so I would definitely give that a 5 out of 5. Besides Guardian 4 achievements, I would say the hardest achievement to get were probably the co-op ones. It took me a little bit of time to actually find someone to play with, so if you can have a friend or buddy to hop on and complete some achievements with, this is a 10 out of 10. If you like this video and want to see more achievement grinds, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you.